We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice. Every day we have to walk into that truth while you choose to say things that, to be honest with you, dog, are nonsensical. You want to think freely? That's fine. I'll combat your free thought with my free thought because mine is grounded in a reality that I have been given and a reality that I'm going to change, but I'm not going to do it by pretending that the enemies are on the same team as me. And frankly, I'm disappointed, I'm appalled, and brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real.
This is probably the most unscripted video I've ever made. I've been wanting to talk about my issues with Kanye's current actions, mainly stemming in music, but obviously so much has happened within this week, and it's already starting to affect me as well. You notice how I'm not having that, the fun regular blue mic I use for the videos? Right now I'm trying to record audio on my old broken iPhone 10. Yeah, everything is falling apart. I think that's the most appropriate theme for this video, really. And I figured that since I'm working on a much bigger video breaking down the Weeknd's discography right now, which stay tuned for that, I feel like I should just get this out of the way for my own sanity. If you're new to the channel, I have complained at length about my issues with Kanye West or Ye, and when I say at length, I mean at length. My most popular video to date is me complaining about him for 2 hours. And since the FML video, and even since the Vultures video, things have just not gotten any better. In fact, they're 10 times worse. I'm still debating what I'm even going to title this video, but the general consensus is that just like, Ye sucks. Ye sucks so hard right now. Normally, my writing process for these kinds of videos is that I need to be able to write a script because without one, I just tend to ramble for hours on end into a void, and it does not sound formulated at all. But I thought about it for 2 seconds and I'm like, what is the point of me just meticulously writing down and working on a proper script when I can just talk? Because that's the main thing I want to do. I just gotta say something. Despite the biggest elephant in the room being obviously the Grammy stunt and certain things he's been saying on Twitter, I first want to talk about the more annoying parts of his music and creativity. And then we'll get to the fun part of the video. Fun with heavy quotation marks.
Yo, I took more of the nitrous. I'm gonna drop song of the year. It's called Husband Jams. It's gonna be fire. Listen up. Cause you've been so long without me.
As most Ye fans know, he started embracing AI in his music, and to the opinion of many, myself included, it is to Ye's own detriment. Again, normally this would be a recap point or whatever, but truly I feel like if you're watching this video, you are very much aware of the storm that we are in, so I might as well just get into it. At least 3 songs on Vultures 2 featured performances that were not actually Ye's, but instead reference tracks written by some members of his writing team ran through an AI voice filter. This issue is the most obvious on the tracks Sky City, 530, and Field Trip, with him only interjecting a couple original lines before letting the AI take over again. And since my initial video on Vultures 2, the fandom has since devolved into making fun of the AI among other just random words and phrases from the Vultures albums and turning them into the most nonsensical brain rot memes I've ever seen. I can no longer enter an Aldi without laughing like a madman. He has also been releasing music videos and trailers with entirely AI-generated art. For example, the music video for Bomb from Vultures 2 with North Chicago and Miles still can't get over that, was entirely AI-generated. It is very obvious. Same with this apparent Vultures the movie trailer and some other video that I can't bother to remember right now. Both teasers were very clearly wholly AI generated. And on top of that, one of the main reasons I even wanted to make this video in the first place was the fact that this Kanye is hiring AI artists. The reason I bring this up is because this is a major concern for this man's music. As in Ye's newest interview with social media personality and D1 professional glazer Justin LeBoy, he talked about how excited he is to keep using AI, believing that it is the future of music, even comparing it to everyone's hesitance to auto-tune back during the 808s era. And I heavily disagree with the way that he looks at AI. First off, it is in no way comparable to auto-tune in the early 2000s. Don't even put them in the same category. To give Ye a bit of credit, he discussed and showed how AI can be used to make sampling, his most popular and beloved production style, easier, which I agree with that use. In the interview, he talked about how hard it was to get specific parts of an instrumental of a song. Getting these stems at that time were very difficult to get. So having a computer be able to do all that with decent accuracy is admittedly pretty cool. But the positives almost immediately end there, as after making that point, he tells his engineer to put his voice over a Lil RT song and plays it over an instrumental. Good Lord, we have lost the plot. What is happening? And that clip, despite being no longer than 30 seconds, is already showing us that AI in his music is very much becoming the new norm inside his team. And that sucks. AI as a tool to assist in making music, like again, the example of sampling, I think is a good idea. But what people have an issue with is the clear laziness aspect of it. Despite what Ye believes, in most of the use cases that he has, AI is in fact a crutch. Not to get bitter about this again, but for Sky City, as you'll remember, Ye took a reference track that Sahai the Prince made for him and put a very sloppy AI filter over it. Released the song officially and called it a day. Same with Field Trip. Knowing its leak history and being aware that Ty Dolla $ign had a much longer verse, we know that Kanye just put AI vocals over Ty's performance and only made 2 original contributions to the lyrics, that being the intro that has also devolved into memed nonsense and 1 line. This is not some grand creativity. This is laziness. Same with the music videos and trailers that he's put out so far. Why is he trying to get AI artists? First off, AI and art, those words do not go together. Don't make that a thing. Why is he so adamant about getting people to help him with this thing? Ye is taking away potential jobs from actual artists and animators to instead replace them with people who essentially just know how to type something into ChatGPT. And need I remind you that most AI-generated videos and art are trained on real videos and art from other people, most of the time without their consent and or compensation. So Ye is not only being lazy, but is practically encouraging the theft of art. There's no real creativity in asking a computer to make something for you. Like this is not even in the notes. Like a personal example I can give off is like the art that I've been using for the channel. I could have easily asked ChatGPT to give me skull-related things, but to type in exactly what I wanted, but it wouldn't be the same. There's a reason why I hit up my homie, shout out Finn, to do the art for me. Not only because they're talented and it was worth the money I paid them for it, but because it would feel so very soulless to just put a prompt in and just plaster that out there. For a man who talks about how immensely talented it is and how he worked hard for his well-deserved accolades, it's quite a disappointment to start seeing him using crutches like this. The only application of AI in music that I could give the smallest of passes to right now was more recently when Eminem used it on his latest album to like speak to his older self, speak to Slim Shady. And I might get flack for this, but I feel like it was a unique idea to have M talk to his older self and use technology to be able to recreate it, because obviously he's matured and probably can't do that voice anymore. And on top of that, Eminem was the one who still wrote all of those lines. For better or for worse, Eminem's lyricism as of late is interesting. But even then, it's not perfect. Plus, even if he were to just start using AI, which definitely not encouraging him to, as it stands right now, there are so many notable problems with it in music and in videos. Like, if you take more than 2 seconds to look at an AI-generated image or video, and you're not, 85, you can tell that it's off. And truly, what is there to stop him from using AI to generate new ideas for fashion as well? This industry that he has such this tumultuous relationship with, that he worked tirelessly for their respect. For all we know, the next Yeezy shoe could just come from him being like, high on the nitrous one day and was like, what's a good Yeezy shoe? And then selling that shit. Even if it is $20, it's still a goddamn ripoff. Hell, the next Yeezy clothes, the next Yeezy shirt and pants, It's gonna have it's gonna have the Yeezy logo but misspelled and the letters are trailing off. If he truly does start adapting AI for his fashion as well, which again, fashion is also an art form that he would be disrespecting by using AI to replicate. People make better bootleg merch with 2 hours in a pirated copy of Photoshop, so I can't imagine he'll do any better. The fact that in modern day, we have to wonder whether or not Ye is actually the one speaking in some of his newer music video snippets, it's very sad. It's so very sad.
Yo, it's Evil Kanye. I'm dropping a new single. This one's called Cheddar Trip. Just listen.
This ain't cheese, this cheddar.
Fortunately, after the last video, it seems that Ye has gotten off the nitrous and seems to be a bit healthier. But that small piece of good news is immediately followed by the downright stupid drama that erupted after the Grammys this year. This year, Carnival from Vultures 1 was nominated for Best Rap Song. I guess the Grammy committee thought that Now I'm Bill Cosby Bitch was deserving of a Grammy potentially, but okay. So for the first time in a while, and especially given Ye's already very interesting relationship with the Grammy committee, he attended the red carpet with his wife Bianca and became the talk of the town for a very obvious reason. I don't even need to spell it out for you. You know why we're here. And here's the thing. I am a man, and commenting on a woman's body or fashion choices is the easiest possible way for me to get dragged on the internet, and that's not what I'm here to do. So I'm trying to choose my words very carefully here. Listen, my opinion, again, as a dude, my opinions on whether or not what she did was empowering to women or not, which has been one of the bigger talking points, does not matter. It's not my conversation. I'm gonna try and stay in my own place. But I think worth pointing out, a take that I saw from an influencer online, I don't know if I'll link it or not, was that this stunt shouldn't be praised super highly for being empowering for women, because Bianca is the textbook example of the female beauty standard. So to go out there and show everyone how good she looks, most people are reacting yeah, we know you're hot, but why are your titties out? The other part of this convo has been whether or not Bianca really wanted to do this, and I somewhat see both sides of this argument, even though I'm leaning towards one a bit more. This is going to be quite parasocial, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt still, but on one side, Ye is clearly styling her very often and already has her wearing quite revealing clothes, to the point that it has also become a meme in the Kanye community. And there are reasons why people feel uncomfortable with their relationship, as Ye seems to parade her around as an object. With him being caught by the paparazzi after her dress reveal, cheesing really hard, and that's kind of weird, and the weirdness doesn't stop there, because afterward on Twitter, which again we'll get to the Twitter tirade in a second, he kept posting hella pictures of his naked wife to the internet to flex. Ew, that's some cornball. That is some weirdo cornball. You're pushing 50. Oh, good Lord. It's like that one homeboy that shows you the nudes that girls have sent to him. He's making his wife, he's parading around his wife like an object for our and his entertainment. That's weird as ew. Not even to mention that they're adults, so I'm not gonna harp on this talking point too long. Two consenting adults, whatever. They do have a considerable age gap. Bianca is 2 years off from being considered part of Gen Z. On the other side, I get it. It is a bit insulting to women to just insinuate that Bianca does not have free will and didn't make these choices on her own. And if the two were totally fine with this and they both consented to it happily, then this is somewhat okay. But then again, right after me writing that note, this dude goes on Twitter to talk about how his wife does have free will, but she still needs his approval to do certain things. Ew. Oh, God, that's so... I said this in the FML video, and I'm saying it again. This nigga is literally like an edgy 12-year-old. Like, it's so cringy. It's so cringy. Again, he has 4 kids, and you're pushing 50. This is beyond. This is beyond me, bro. Holy hell. Another one of the problems with this stunt was that, like, this was a very public event with children in attendance, and some of said children involuntarily just saw your wife's tater tots, and that's very poor judgment, in my opinion, to do this stunt at an event like that. Clearly, this was a publicity stunt to promote the new line of Yeezy's women wear. I wonder how the sales are going with that right now. And I mean, it worked. Bianca was the most Googled, I don't want to say thing, because she's not a thing, but she was the most Googled person on the planet, even surpassing the Grammys in popularity. But still, time and place. And even after the initial drama surrounding the dress, Ye has shown more and more how much of a cornball he is becoming. Because during the ceremony, even during the ceremony before the dress unveiling, left-leaning journalist Don Lemon approached Ye to interview him, and he responded like this.
Kanye, when is Bully gonna come out? When is Bully coming?
Yay. I changed my name to Yay.
Yay.
Soon this year, though.
When is Bully coming out?
This year.
This year.
Which is a decently okay interaction, honestly. Then followed by,
Kanye, the #1 artist you want to put on right now?
Give me a second, I'm focused.
No interviews. No interviews.
and now the two have started a miniature feud as Ye alleged that Don spread a rumor that Ye and Bianca were kicked from the Grammys after the dress reveal. A very popular rumor that went around that was not started by Don, when in reality the two just dipped after the dress reveal. Maybe because Ye, for once in his life, had like the smallest bit of humility and realized that Carnival was not winning against Not Like Us. No way in hell. When addressing this whole thing in a now deleted Instagram caption, he called Don Lemon a spelled with a K. And given what has transpired over the last few years, seeing the headline that Ye called Don Lemon a slur that started with a K, my heart skipped like 15 beats. In my head, I was like, not again, please, not again, not again, not again. And unfortunately, again, as this video progresses, again, it happened again. Don responded by clearing the air, telling Ye that not only did he correct news articles that were saying he dipped and were trying to share the truth, but also calling to attention that the comment is quite a statement coming from, Mr. Kanye taking it like a good boy from the white man Omari West. Following the ceremony, of course, he has been responding to criticism of the stunt, crashing out and heavily bashing people who dared to say that it was a bit cringe. One person commented saying that it is an easy win when a man puts a naked woman on the screen. Kind of a true statement. And this commenter was apparently an art page, and Ye would try to expose her by posting screenshots of her page, drawing a focus to a reel of hers, to an Instagram reel of hers with scantily clad women, and following that with another great post and delete with quote, "Your work sucks and your friends hate you." This is masterclass middle school behavior. It's fantastic, really. Another fun interaction was when a trans model commented on a now deleted and uncensored picture of Bianca, commenting, "You have daughters, bruv." Another very valid point, to which Ye replied in the DMs, just sharing a nice bit of transphobia. Great. Again, that Sway interview just ages worse and worse as time goes on. Again, I feel like a middle school boy that actively watches Andrew Tate could have come up with something better than that. This isn't me encouraging transphobia, but at least be creative. That shit was just weak as. She even ends her legendary tangent off by reminding us that Ye made the song Violent Crimes, which is also something I mentioned in the FML video about how that song has lost all its meaning in recent years.
But not only is he a white supremacist, but this 25-year-old man said his ideal wife would be 16 years old. You have 2 daughters, Kanye. Why would you associate with this man? Did violent crimes mean nothing?
Great. And again, later in this video, advocating for the release of a predator. Great, you're a great influence on your daughters, Kanye. Good job.
A lot of people were complaining that 530 was AI, so I decided to fix it and make it better.
But they smile, cause you've been so long without a man.
And this brings me to my last major gripe before the worst part of this whole thing. And that's been Ye's like writing or lack thereof. What that last influencer said like made me remember the fact that like Ye admitted he did not write any of Violent Crimes, and the track was instead written by Partisan Fontaine, who some of you might know as being Megan Thee Stallion's ex-boyfriend. This has been a gripe of mine for quite a while now, honestly. Like, when looking into Ye's leaks and writing credits in his music, you quickly come to realize that after Twisted Fantasy, he started to get more and more help for the writing of his music. And that's a bit disappointing. Now, of course, musicians get help writing songs all the time. It's nothing new. But in rap, that is very much looked down upon, as you are meant to be expressing your own opinions. You're meant to be expressing yourself. I mean, like, Drake got exposed for having Quentin Miller write a quarter of If You're Reading This Is Too Late and his verse on Meek Mill's Rico, and has been getting dragged for it ever since, with people even believing that his responses to Kendrick were entirely ghostwritten. But almost no one has the same smoke for Ye, and I feel like the reason for that is because the music's still enjoyable. I mean, like, I said it again in the FML video, T-Lop is still a top 3 Ye project for me. And he got a decent amount of help on it. But the project itself, in its now finished state, is still amazing. I broke it down more in detail, obviously, in that video, but even though he did get some writing help, it doesn't take away from what we got. This deeply personal and unique album where Ye contemplates his very identity, one that he seems to have lost. Guys, just watch that video when we're done. I say everything. I say so much more there. Just watch it. It's worth the 2 hours, I promise. It didn't just feel like he was using writers and coming back in when the work was done. Especially when researching for that video and hearing a lot of the T-Lop leaks, you can still tell that he had input. He was still properly working on these songs. Even on Donda, that was very much a team effort when it came to the writing and production. These songs are still very deeply personal, and that's why so many people consider it to be such a perfect retirement album, because, you know, it's probably best to just pretend that everything past 2021 did not happen. But as time has gone on, it does not seem like the case anymore. Like, knowing a song that, like, Violent Crimes wasn't written by him at all outside of 2 lines makes the emotional message of that song feel quite cheapened in a way, and makes me just wish that we got Brothers instead. The most recent and disappointing example of this is what happened on 530. After almost everyone complained that it released unfinished and was literally a YouTube rip, he took months to finish it. And he just finished it with another reference track ran through an AI filter. It's very noticeable. Just like Violent Crimes, 530 is this deeply sorrowful and introspective track where Ye talks about his divorce from Kim Kardashian back in 2022 and talks about how even though he's heartbroken over the end of their relationship, he is more concerned about the fact that his family is falling apart and how it will affect his kids. And I stand by what I said in the Vultures 2 video. The first part of that song is almost perfection. And then he sells, somehow, twice, by 1, releasing the song unfinished, and then 2, finishing the song months later with AI. I probably look like a crazy person right now. I look like I'm on cocaine. It feels less like Ye is making these collaborative efforts with rappers and is just choosing what he likes from talented people, slapping his fake voice on it, and allegedly not even compensating them for their work fairly. Ye is becoming a genuine loser right now, and I truly feel like he's lost a lot of his artistry.
All D step, popcorn step, penthouse step, Sigma step.
And now we're, at the main point of the video, talking about the storm of stupidity that has gone on over the past few days. But before even getting to that, I want to talk about some other parts of the download of this recent episode of the download that I just wasn't a fan of. For one, though, I would like to praise Justin from restraining himself from doing the ferocious meat bouncing he was doing in the last interview and asking some decent questions this time. And I'll also say, it's nice to hear Ye speaking calmly and normally. It's something that is becoming more and more rare these days. And I'm also willing to retract some of what I said in the FML video about his bipolar disorder. Because what happened was, as he explains in the download, his wife convinced him to get a second opinion on his diagnosis, believing that he showed more signs of autism than bipolar disorder. But when speaking about this back in 2022, the way he framed this new autism diagnosis was that, the Jews, they misdiagnosed me so that they can control me in the space lasers. And I would still like to point out that symptoms for both mental illnesses can overlap, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. So I'm willing to cut him a bit more slack given that newer context, but still, he's on some bull. But past that, when recounting his canceling to Justin, Ye not only brags again about beating a cancellation, which again, if you watch the video, you would know, there are niggas that have just beaten women broad daylight on camera and have had the most lavish, successful careers imaginable. Ye is fine. But he frames that once more as just people silencing him from expressing himself the way he wants to. And to reiterate Ye one more time, you were not canceled for saying that they were bad actors in the media and entertainment industry. You have said that before in your music and other interviews with little to no scrutiny. The problem was that you called out a certain demographic of people who work in that industry and paraded those people around as some grand evil, likening yourself to a sympathizer in the process. That was the problem, dickhead. The reason why that last cancellation was as bad as it was because you were entering sympathizer territory, and many people just happened to agree that the shit that you were saying was beyond just offensive and just was absolutely deplorable. And even though I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, in Ye's newest Twitter tirade, he's just proving my exact point. He's most likely rage baiting a little bit, but that's still not good. This nigga sucks. And also last part of the download, calling himself a psycho genius and that he could be the only person to ever defeat Kendrick in a rap battle made me laugh out loud. Hey, maybe 2004 to 2010 Ye could definitely compete, but today with your ever expanding writing team, you'd get cooked isn't even the word. You'd get eviscerated. You would become the planet of Reach. You would get fucking glassed. You'd be done. Legendary Will Halo reference. Let's go. Hearing Yo Dot I Got You on the Like That remix makes me laugh every time. And not just because of the memes. It's because that nigga Kendrick did not need your help in the slightest. Plus, even when he was comparing the two of them, Kendrick washed him on No More Parties in LA. Frankly, that's the truth. I'm sorry. Many people will disagree with that opinion, but let's keep it a buck. Moving past the download, though, the most obvious thing and the biggest reason why you might be watching this video right now is, of course, the tweet storm. And this is where it starts to become a little bit less funny. There are a lot of things that I'm missing. There are so many tangents he went off on, and I'm sure by the time this video is uploaded, maybe 3 minutes later, Ye is just gonna post himself in a selfie with Elon Musk hitting the Roman salute on camera. But still, I just felt it's obviously worth mentioning. The only decently just weird thing to come out of this was him talking about how he wanted to smash Kamala Harris, but doesn't with losers. Once more, great thing to say in front of your children, potentially, and your wife. Yes, I'm sure every woman loves hearing how much their partner wants to go with other women. That's great. That's so great. And of course, one of the big things that everyone's been talking about, how he is just so adamantly fighting for the release of Diddy. P. Diddy, the dude who, yes, even though he has not been proven guilty in a court of law for anything just yet, and all of his supporters can make the case that everyone's lying, there's still literally video evidence that the entire world saw of him viciously beating his ex-girlfriend in a hotel. You can't just push that away. That is still direct proof of him being a shitty person. But whatever. Ye went in to call Diddy his idol and hero, talked about how he wants to send him money in jail because Diddy can't profit off of his work right now. Boo fucking who. And also blamed Diddy's imprisonment on white people and the Jews. again. And after fighting so hard for him, he tweeted a response telling people that he will fight, like physically fight, on Diddy's behalf, calling people who oppose Diddy and Ye's opinions as, definitely gonna have to censor this, dick riding, and then reminding us that don't mean gay either. It means, I can't read this. It's literally middle schooler rage bait. It's so dumb. I can't even read it. I can't even read it. Great. Yes, I love how it went from his Twitter tirade went from my wife is hot and you're all stupid to then the Jews and white people and then free Diddy, and then it's just like 2022 but somehow amplified by like 5 million. I'm laughing, but this is genuinely very disappointing. I didn't note anything that I'm about to say right now, so I'm kind of just going off the dome, but like this is beyond disappointing, truly. I don't say this to be funny. Almost every major point I made in the FML video has just been proven right. This dude, Ye is past redeemable at this point. He is truly becoming like he's becoming an edgelord, and it's gotten to the point where people are like, it's getting worse. It's getting so much worse. People are starting to not support him. Like, I just saw maybe an hour before recording this video, Travis Scott just unfollowed him on Twitter and Instagram. Like, and Travis, he was one of the biggest people to like not fight on Ye's behalf, but to show him love, like when Utopia came out, and to like, you know, show him how important he was starting his career. He just unfollowed him. That's pretty big, to finally see the dude that put you on and that you admire so much, and to just finally be able to say like, yeah, I don't fuck with him no more. That's pretty big. And like, again, I blocked a lot of the tweets out of my head because opening Instagram and seeing an archived tweet from the Kanye's Post account, just like it just opens up with a slur of some kind. I'm like, okay, that's great. I just wanted to see funny memes. I didn't need to see this again. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. He's literally just like tweeting. He's just tweeting every possible offensive thing he can say, and is hiding behind this under the guise of like, y'all can't silence me anymore. All of this, it's like, once more, that was not the point. I don't understand how he doesn't get it. Like, we're not mad at him because he was speaking his mind. He's done that before. I still think he's a major for supporting Trump. But even then, it's not as bad as you literally calling all Jewish people like thieving and conniving and evil. Like, and again, what's more, the him constantly calling like people who don't bend to his will or agree with him is real rich coming from him, bro. Trump and Elon got that man in a full Nelson and he's begging to tap out. That's how badly he's just taking it. He just loves taking it for white America. That's how much he loves taking it for genuine bigots. It's so unbelievably disappointing. Like, even before any of this happened, I was just like on a whim listening to like the College Dropout and listening to Twisted Fantasy, and truly how far the mighty have fallen. Truly, it is night and day. The first lines to So Appalled that I was listening to earlier. I'm so appalled, Spalding balding, Donald Trump taking dollars from y'all. It's night and day. It's truly night and day. Listen, I'll admit, some of his tweets I will be quoting for the rest of my life, but outside of the decently funny things, this is just further proof that, like, yeah, Ye is washed. Truly, I think this has been the biggest proof that, like, Ye is truly washed. Look, to reach our conclusion here, I guess, I said this towards the end of the Vultures video, and I'm gonna say it again now. Unfortunately, almost every major criticism I made against Ye has been proven exactly right. Ye is obviously surrounded by yes men who are not willing to check him for the wild things he says or does, and in the process is continuing to lose fans, his artistry, and his morality as he parades his wife around like an object, continues spouting incredibly graphic anti-Semitism, and is going so hard to bat for a predator who also tried to kill one of his friends. Did he just forget that? I remember, like, I said this back in December of 2022. Ye sucks. Ye sucks. Truly, Ye is a goddamn loser. I can say that in full confidence. I miss Kanye West. I know I miss the old Kanye. It's the most played out statement on the internet right now. I get it. But truly, there's no other way for me to describe it. I miss Kanye West. I think truly, even though it's kind of a meme at this point that like Donda was their retirement album, I truly think it was. Because after that point, he legally had changed his name to Ye. He started embracing that more and more. And then that's when all this bullshit started. And truly, because everything past Donda has just been an utter disappointment. And it does not seem to be letting up, man. He's approaching 50 and he's got AI in his music. He's just touting all this stupid misogyny and anti-Semitism. He's just not the same person. Like, Ye is a goddamn loser. And I'm quite ashamed that I became a fan of this unrecognizable piece of shit. There's no defending him anymore. Really, like, there was never any after 2022, there was no defending him in the first place, but this has proven that, like, the man is just too far gone. He will clearly not listen to anyone who has the smallest amount of criticism towards him, and is so blinded by the glory days and believing that he's the GOAT to not again realize just how far he's fallen. Normally when I make such a grand video like this, like, I have some major tying conclusion or something, like, not to glaze myself, but I think the FML video, the conclusion to that was probably one of the greatest things I've ever written. But there's nothing conclusive, there's nothing super productive I can say about what Ye's been doing. Truly, there's nothing else I can really add. Like, I'm very much, I've been repeating myself in this video so often because there's just nothing else to say. I had a video idea talking about cancel culture, and it'll still be coming. But one of the things that I was thinking about was, like, how I have to grapple with the fact that, like, even though I've touted, certain kinds of morality on this channel and, things like that, I had to I'm realizing that, like, the music I listen to, he said it himself, I am supporting, and I'm starting to become more and more, I'm starting to realize more and more that, like, I don't know if I can in good conscience listen to his music. I had this dilemma back in December of 2022, and it's coming back again 10 times stronger now, and it's really starting to hit me that, like, this man is truly washed. There's no real redemption arc for any of this. I said this in the FML video, like, the only thing he could really do is, like, make a genuine apology and try to move past this by showing genuine remorse and understanding what he did wrong, but clearly that's never going to happen. I hate to leave on such a note. I hate to leave without, like, a proper written conclusion here, but, like, the only thing I can really say is that, like, I don't know, Ye is a fucking loser. Ye is a fucking loser. And it's so disappointing to see. I'm gonna call it, honestly. I think there's not much else I can say. That's